wait till June before all the math reconfigures into, okay, there's now going to be 10 day-night cycles in the month of June. And I think, I guess I still haven't come to a standard naming convention on what I use to describe things. And as a computer programmer analyst, precision tends to be quite an important thing. Kind of like I deal with the sales department for most of the work that I do. So we call price is what we sell something to a customer for. But I do get issues sent to me where someone's complaining about a price being wrong, and it's from purchasing. So that's not my problem. I don't deal with pricing in purchasing, which is from a sales aspect, that's my cost. So when I'm figuring out the price, I am basing the price math on what we paid for the stuff. So I'm figuring it out in the case of cost. And everybody I deal with deals with price is what we sell something for, cost is what we buy it for. But in other parts of the company, especially the help desk, different people use price for different things. And when someone says, I've got a pricing issue, that must be a sales problem. And not always. You need to look at who's reporting it to determine what word we actually use to describe it. Finn and Hedy. I do know that there is an auto drive mod set up for this particular map that Disturbed Simulations uses on his series. Again, not something I've really looked into, and I think the basic auto drive module used to be on the mod hub, and it's not anymore. But I don't know if that's because the guy who wrote it has basically said, rather than create an auto drive module, you add it to your game save, and then you have to go around and create auto drives for everything. I think he now has his own sort of set of auto drive files where he's actually set up most of the auto drives for a map, and you just download auto drive for the map. But it does mean a generic auto drive's not available anymore. At least I couldn't find it on Mod Hub. But for the most part, what I'm doing is I drive most of the road work myself, but I will use Follow Me if we're doing something like we're doing now, where I've got two tractors that need to be in the same place at the same time. A couple more bits of grass, actually, they're not really significant, are they? 558 and squeak through there. 560, yeah, 11. We'll just grab these two bits and then we are done with this field. We can move on to the next one. Yay! So I think this is the third field we've done. So we've got 3 more. The last one is the big field on the map that we contract in. But the other 2 are going to be like the ones we've just done, really small pasture fields which are just annoying. But they do, silage, they pay well. So I'm not going to complain too much about having to do the work. I'm just fairly conscious that obviously this is all we're doing today, so it's not going to make for a riveting stream. Anyway, do this bit this way, we'll swing out. Oh, can I get that bit there? Yep, and that bit there. We are going to call that good. Lift that, turn it off, fold it up. Go and sit behind the John Deere and follow it to the next field. Okay, let's have a look. Oh right, no, that's good. So we just did that field. This one is on the... Is that on the other side of this yard? Can I just drive through there to that field? That would be nice. But this one again, I'll do a mow and a cut. But then our last field's a 42, which sadly we didn't do with 44, 45, 46, which is quite an open field, so that's not going to be too bad. Yes, I think I can turn that way. Okay, let's... let's get in the John Deere. How about that? Start the engine and drive just across the yard. We made it, yay. We've never done this before. Normally we come in from over there because there's a little grass ramp down. I've never actually explored this side of this yard. Okay, I'm going to get in this. Turn off the worker, turn off the engine so we don't waste time on it. And let's get this thing rolling again. Unfold, lower, engage. Drive through the gate. Unfold. And lower. And go. Yay! Okay, in this field I usually just do a run straight across. Actually, you know what? Let's do the thing. Try and get this a little bit more uniform as we travel round. But yeah, as far as the English side of the family is concerned, we're getting now to the point where everybody feels a little bit too old to travel a few thousand miles for a vacation. Plus we have a very old grandparent who isn't up to travelling anywhere and kind of needs constant care. So from that count, my mum and dad aren't taking vacations anywhere long distance or for long time. Actually, I think they've pretty much stopped doing, short vacations as well at the moment because Grandma needs a lot of supervision. And part of the problem with Grandma is her son had a stroke about 10 years ago. He lives in South Africa. And so his kids from his South African marriage are all also living in South Africa. His kids from his first marriage I think one of them does live in London, but the other one lives in New Zealand, so not like she can visit and help. Her kids all live in New Zealand. I live in America. My sister still lives in England, so she can still visit Grandma. But her kid lives in Canada. So yeah, we're quite the international family. But when it comes to day-to-day care, the only people who live close enough and don't have other what's the word for it? Don't have other commitments would be my mum and dad, because they're retired. My sister, obviously, she's still of a working age. She's younger than me, and as I said, we live in America, and that's really still a problem of COVID restrictions. You know, it's not like, one, we can't afford to travel to the UK for long term or multiple times, especially not with the amount of car troubles we've had in the last 5 months, 6 months. I think we've spent over 10,000 keeping 2 cars on the road for 5 months. So the emergency fund is a little bit short at the moment. But we'll see how the world turns later, I guess. Okay, I will get that piece. I think I'll go second row or third row in this case. I mean, we can do this with two rows at the headland, but it's a lot easier with 3. I don't even know how much this is expected to pay, and I can't really look because this field is quite short, so I don't get long periods of time to do looking stuff up between actually turning around at the end of each row. I think with 6 contracts, I think one of them was about 25,000. Most of the rest were over 10. So we should be looking at about 100,000 from all of these contracts total. Plus, there will be a little bit of bonus silage, because as I've said, we'll take an Anderson and just pick everything up. What I might do, I'll bale this field. I'll go grab the Anderson and we'll sell what we've made so far. And then we have the 2 big fields closest to the farm. So hopefully we will actually be at the point where all of the remaining bales are ours. I did kind of too many rows in the gaps there, didn't I? There's a little bit on the corner. But I should be able to swipe. Or not. Or completely mess up. Alright, let's get ourselves lined up on this one now. Then I can run the one to the left, the one to the right. We are done with this field. I'll fold the mowers up. And I think what I might do, I might take the mowers back to the yard and grab the Anderson. Because the last two fields are kind of on the north side of the map, so we're going to have to drive past the farm anyway. And as I said, I'm hoping we have done enough bales to at least complete the delivery of all 6 of these contracts. So everything else is going to be ours, and it's going to be closer to our yard, so we can just ship it back there. And that is what we call done. Booyah! Fold that up. Select the front mower, lift, fold, and sneak through the gap. And I think, oops, I can turn off GPS again. And I'll get us positioned here. The Fent can join us when it's done. Oh, we are almost full bale. That could be a bit awkward. Okay, unfold, lower. Oh, actually, no, it's not a problem. We won't block the entrance. I just have to stop as soon as we grab the first 93 litres. There we go. Get the grass transferred and we can drive. Awesome stuff. So yeah, over the weekend, I did on Friday because I had the day off for court and that got cancelled. I did manage to build Mrs. Osa a planter so she can plant some veg. And on Saturday afternoon after the stream, we went out. Actually, Teenage Osa had a lot of things going on the afternoon. She's got a lot of things next weekend too. But we went out and we did buy some more lumber so we could complete a second one. Oh, dude, stop, back up. So that needs to be screwed together. The lumber yard I'm using is a sort of get it yourself, and the vehicle we have is capable of holding 7 foot lengths maximum. So last time all I did was cut everything in half, 12 foot beams in half, so they would fit in the back of the van. Yesterday I did a little bit more, or Saturday I did a little bit more consideration of what sizes I would need. So I cut them down to a much shorter length in some situations. Ooh, don't drop it on the swath. So in actual, because the lumber yard is a help yourself. So you go in, you find the lumber you need, you select the pieces you want, and then you cut them to length that you want. So whereas you can pick it up in 12 foot lengths, They have a saw which is available to the general public to use that you can get this to drop between the rows. Yeah, you can just do your own cut list, which is nice. And I have filled up the baler again. So yeah, cut them all to length and brought them all home and left them in the basement. So we may look at trimming them down to exact sizes, and this is also a very lucrative field when it comes to produce of grass. I'm having a few problems keeping lined up on the swath, so we'll stay zoomed out. And there we go again, another one. This is probably why these contracts are paying so good, because even this small field is producing an absolute ton of silage. A little bit more than I expected, and we're almost full again. Boom, 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 da, da. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much all the things I have going on at the moment.
You need to have more time without me next week.
Yeah.
Oh, need that.
And sometimes they just won't reverse. I'll just keep driving. Let's turn the lights on so we can see what's in the shadows again. And another load comes out while I wasn't paying attention. Yes, frequently I don't mention everything. And when I fail to mention something, I need to be corrected by a teenager that you're not considering all these other things. And sort of, yes, I know, but I don't have to vocalize everything for you. Okay, what's this look like? This looks like, actually, not too bad. We got a bit of a mess over in the corner here, which I will attempt to tidy up. How's the baler? The baler is almost empty at the moment. Clear this up. Yeah. I thought that might be a problem. Oh, typical. Right where I want to drive through the hedge, we have our favourite little hedge stumps, which just always just get in the way. This is not easy. I'm going to do this from overhead view for a moment. And again, this isn't much in the way of mist grass when you consider how much we are not picking up here. Alright, let's see, I'm missing. We do kind of have an issue with the width of this, the pickup on this. And another bale pops out at random. Because not paying attention. Okay. Go get this one. We'll swing about. Grab the other bit on the way back. This bale should drop in a fairly reasonable position. Alrighty. And swing there. Swing back. Grab the bit at the entrance. And foobar around with this bit. Oh, I don't have access to the field, which is interesting. Because this, as far as I can tell, this bit here is actually field grass, or yeah, field grass rather than map grass. So I should really be able to pick everything up on in that portion of the field. Good job we had the swathers running. Anyway, let's draw this all the way to the bottom, and that will give us enough room to turn on there and get a better view angle. Oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. So I think this is looking like we'll run up this path and then do a line across the top. And then all we have is a bunch of north-south rows that need to be collected, and as I said, we'll take the train back to